All right. Good evening to those of you on the East Coast. Good afternoon to those of you on the West Coast. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co creator of Movers and Shakers Unlimited. And thanks so much for joining us. As you saw in the background, very soon we will have CES, the 2023 edition happening in kind in Las Vegas. Super excited, to be able to join that show and check out all the cool things that are happening in terms of like the innovations that we have in all the various industries that we know and love. However, we will have a couple of conversations just prior to the show, just to tease the impending show, and also during the show. So be on the lookout for it. If you notice now, we do have a terrific guest on tap for you guys. As you know, I love to travel, and we have a great ambassador and a great individual who is well versed in the world of travel. So I want to introduce the CEO and founder of MOOVERT France, none other than Pier Tognazzini. Let me bring him on.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you
How
so
you
much,
doing, man?
Brandon. I'm fine. What about you? What about you? Thank you so much for
I'm
welcoming
good.
me.
I'm good. I'm jealous, man. We were talking off stage. You're already in Vegas already, so I'm a little
Yeah.
jealous that I'm not there yet. But be that as it may, man, thanks so much for hopping on, and you are our first guest of our coverage of this year's show. So welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
glad to have you on board. And can you talk a little bit? As I was saying, I'm a huge fan of traveling, and as I said, you have such an extensive um uh, e- uh, uh experience when it comes to that field. So can you, for those who may not be familiar with Movert as of yet, could you talk about how that came to be?
Yeah. So, well, once again, Brandon, thank you so much to welcome me here. And I just would like to start with the fact that way of travel changed really extremely a lot in the latest period. We saw that with the COVID situation. We thought there was something like a trend, but actually it's something more structural that happened. And it's true that people would like to change differently. They don't want to change, don't want to travel like they traveled before the COVID. So they're looking for something more authentic. They're looking something like more an experience of travel. And another big point, they're looking for something more sustainable. Travel can be sustainable too. And that is the direction that Mover would like to go, because they would like to give to customers that at the moment would like to travel to France an option to choose accommodation, services, restaurants. They are local, they are authentic, and they are sustainable. That's what we strongly believe. What do you think, Brandon?
No, I mean, absolutely. The thing that is interesting is, when it comes to, I feel like the last 2 years have, in many ways, whether it's with travel or any industry, forced us to pivot and really evaluate what things are important to us, and which things are when I'm thinking of travel, there are things that are deal breakers for me. Like I must have this feature, like I must have this component of my travel experience, or else it's not something that I am keen to do. So with that said, travel is such a mammoth of a field, and even as I said, with the extensive experience that you have, with all the other various uh places where people are being able to gather potential experiences from, was that initially something where you were really kind of doing some soul searching as you were putting together, this platform of what I can do in order to make it as unique of an experience as possible? Because there's so many experiences out there. I mean, if I'm just thinking of, as you're well versed in, whether it's with cruising organizations, with travel agencies, with all these extensive avenues, trying to find something where from what seen, because I've taken a look at the platform of trying to become a one-stop shop, so that way people aren't looking at various places to be able to pull, these different components of the itinerary.
Yeah, yeah, and I would like to add also that it's easier for you here abroad, United States, to find an hotel, that a big chain hotel. It's easier to find something that is quite common and maybe something where there are a lot of tourists there already. But be back to the new wanting of tourism tomorrow. People definitely, like you said, want to live an experience. Let's give an example. If you just traveling to France, of course, you will for sure, if you are a first visitor, go to Paris, visit Paris, and so on. But what you would like also to expect for this travel, an experience and an authentic experience. And with MOOVERT, what you can do, you can jump in the countryside and maybe produce cheese with the farmers, or hunting truffle. Go to in the countryside, hunting truffle with dogs, have a wonderful lunch based of truffle, and be back to United States with a truffle in the pocket. So this kind of experience, that give you an hits about your traveling, and it's not anymore tourism, is definitely a souvenir, like we said in French, is a memory that you bring back home. That's what we strongly believe. And I'm promoting France. It's almost 20 years that I'm promoting France around the world. And I realized that people always tell me, Pierre, come on, tell me something new, give me something different. Just would like something out of the path. And that's why I said to myself, well, I think that we have to create something. That's why I grow up and create MOOVERT. So it's the answer for this question. And I would like to add something more. It's not only for the final customers that we create Mover. We also create Mover for a section for travel agents, tour operator, private conciergerie, that even them are really often quite lost in the ecosystem, in the digital ecosystem, to find something authentic and something sustainable in France. That's why we create that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to speak further about that, can you comment on some of go into more examples of like the definitive like features? Because as I said, I did have a chance to hop onto the platform in and of itself, and what I did like is the fact that you have so many components that are broken down, and a lot of times, as I said, you have to go to various other avenues to be able to find a lot of these features. Where I feel like a lot of times, like I'll have multiple tabs up of like different places to get each of these features. However, here, you have it all in one place where I'm able to determine what type of stay I want. I'm able to determine, okay, this is how many people I'm going to have, traveling along with me. And no one trip is going to be the same. Like I can very well travel to the same place but have a different experience based off of the type of accommodations that I have. So could you speak to that? And I believe I have the website available here that I can share, as you're discussing some of those features.
Right, yeah. And yeah, it's interesting also because to helping people, to choose accommodation, like you said, we create an algorithm. That algorithm give you the opportunity to understand the authenticity and the level of sustainability of all the accommodation that we have. We do have a questionnaire for all services provider. They have 74, 80 questions to answer back. And in according with the answers, they have 3, 4, or 5 pine that you can see here, pine cones. And you can choose, if you would like something really authentic, something really sustainable, you can choose accommodation that have 5 pine cones on our website. That is also a way, to try to also give chance to all the other accommodation, all the other service provider to swap into the ecological transition, to switch into something more authentic, and give them the chance, to just grow up the quality of their service and the quality of their product. And as you saw on the website, it's funny because you can have, if you go a little bit down, you can actually see that you can enter in different way. You can choose for a region, you can choose for a kind of accommodation, you can choose for a kind of holiday. So that is something that people, it's easier for them. If you go on the click on the MOOVERT France, just there on the left, and yeah, we can see they have these three options actually to choose. And it's funny because you can find from a castle of the 18th century until the tiny house in the middle of the forest.
Outstanding, outstanding. And to speak further on that, whenever you are, becoming an innovator in any a situation, a lot of times when you are still starting it, from its, early stages, even when it feels like, okay, I have satisfied every, component of or aspect of an experience for a potential traveler. I'm sure even now, you still get you still have folks reach out, say, oh, well, does it also do this? E- are there instances where there have been components of the travel experience, even despite all of the different components that you have available to travelers, that you are still working on? And if so, can you tease what they are? Or maybe you can't because it's still in the early stages.
Yeah. It's true that it's always hard, but it's true that all the different places that we are, because right now, as you said, I work only in France, but tomorrow we would like to grow up. That's why we are here at the CES. Uh, and it's true that, thinking about the Paris region, people know and think to do everything, but they have option to do something different. Just give you another hits. For instance, people that like arts, they like painting, they can live an experience just 30 kilometers from Paris to stay a week and learn. And there is a teacher, then learn them aquarelle, that's us painting on the countryside of Paris. So just these kind of things, they are so unusual, but it's actually what people looking for. And of course, France, it's wine. So we have a lot of partners that are wine producers, and they just give some hits, some knowledge about discover wine, how to produce wine. So there's just few hits that I can just tell you. And it's true that it's a different way and go a little bit deeper on experiences about live a country, and that's what actually we doing.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Pierre, I do not want to keep you, but I do want to thank you so much of squeezing in some time, even despite the time difference that we were dealing with, and also, being a few days away from the holiday. I really do appreciate you squeezing in some time. Before I let you go, I want to be able to remind everybody that MOOVERT France will be at the Sands Expo Convention Center. Let me put it up now. At the Eureka Marketplace in Hall G in booth 611 hyphen 9. But other than
Exactly.
that, can you tell folks some other things that they can perhaps anticipate at this show that you might be able to also tease
Yeah,
upcoming? Yes.
yeah. I'm really, really glad. I'm happy to tell you that, guys, we have and we are chosen from the Economy Ministry of Economy, France Ministry of Economy, to be there at the CES and represent the French travel tech. So it's not only me, and I'm happy to tell you that there are a lot of friends and the partners that are there. We are only 12 startups, but they give you the opportunity to have different experience to traveling in France and traveling abroad. So come to see us. And once again, Brando, I really thank you for this interview and to give me the chance to promote Mover, because we are tiny, we are a young boy in the market, and things like you, Dan, it's really good for us to just tell you guys, we are here, we do something new, something different. You have the option right now to traveling in another way, and just give the word to everybody, and we'll be more than happy to welcome all the people come from United States with no problem.
All right, outstanding. Well, there you guys have it. Again, I want to thank Pierre for hopping on and talking Movered. Again, we have CES happening in in 2 more weeks,
Weekend
guys. So it is the clock is winding down, but so excited to be able to check out just as we had here with Mover, many of the other things that we have going on. I'm your host, Brandon Troy, host and co-creator of Movers and Shakers of Guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be safe out there, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy holidays.